Todak actually has a decent side of the draft besides that carry. I think if we're going like per lane, overall, I think Untitled have a couple of advantages, but the team fight is really where it's going to break down and where hell is going to break loose between both of our squads here as we go in to the Land of Dawn. Todak, fortunately, facing off against Untitled at match point.
The walls are broken once again, which means it is open season for both of these teams. Only one will be able to come out on top. Will Untitled secure their second ever clean sweep in MPL history. Oh wait, no, that's
his orange. Yeah, he's stealing
it. Stealing.
I was wondering why Zaed wasn't immediately hitting the buff. It's like, where is he? And he showed up on the enemy's orange buff side. A successful steal, knowing that level 1 is in their favor. Guess what? It's Angela mid lane with Glue as support.
That is so well played. Good job, Zaed. Actually, an excellent call. That is going to give them advantage over the early game for a while. They still lose the Litho, though.
Yeah, they still lose the Litho. That's kind of whatever. Litho EXP compared to a full buff EXP, big difference. But generally, this is good foresight coming in from Todak. ZAIMSEMPOI and as well as Dreams understood that Rasy literally cannot do anything to affect this lane, and Stowm just has to give the discount on the mid lane tax. Now we look at the emblems here. Bloody Hunt. Oh no, Dreams is in trouble.
He's walked a little too far forward, surrounded by 4 people. First blood to Keemin. That makes up a little for the stolen buff.
Why didn't he flicker? I don't understand. Did he recognize that he couldn't get out of it fast enough? He could have flickered upwards and then walked to the top side towards Fawndeer. I don't know. Dreams has been getting caught up in some pretty awkward spots. Rapid boots, purchased by him, gets back into the fight.
Oh, Zaed's still going to be a full level ahead right now. Iron.
What was that?
Did that pull a goo?
Did that pull a goo? All right, it's time. Prod, pull up the instant replay. this is real good time.
Where did that hook go?
Where it disappeared into existence.
Did that pull a tiny goo? Is that how it works?
I don't think it's supposed to work that way, I'll be honest with you.
Well, for now, they're controlling the turtle. Todak going to be able to take it for free since Zaed definitely has a level lead. Heartguard comes out, gonna get pulled in with the I'm offended. Curtain call! Locked Fawndeer and Zaed together! They find the kill on Ruby.
These responses coming in from Todak are kind of slow. I would have expected Zaim to instantly, quickly throw out that traction beam or something. At least throw his the Sardarlium at him, just to slow him down. Surprised that it ended up this way. Fawndeer ended up dying for pretty much nothing at this point. And Sizkaa, he's not really winning the lane, but he's doing, like, I don't want to say he's breaking even. If there was a henge, he's looking literally right at the top of it. But ZAID now right on top of Lolealz. Really good play.
Heartguard comes out on Rasy. It looks like they were planning to maybe dive tower, but they weren't able to find the catch they wanted. Now Zaed comes in, rolls, connects with the glue. Iron Hook misses when he was slowed by a Baxia, by the way.
It's that Rasy movement. You don't know. You just don't know. Rasy's living in Dreams' head right now.
I never would have expected him to walk forward.
Nobody does. I think that's the worst. When you play in like high mythic and the guy just walks in a straight line or just stands still, that's when it pisses me off. It's like, darn, you're really in my head, sir. You're really in my... You figured it out.
Meanwhile, Rasy just not thinking. You never know, right?
Thoughts empty. Only good vibes.
You can only fall upwards.
2-0 so far. Almost getting to that 1,000, but Todak quickly back on with ZAIMSEMPOI, helping Zaed to catch back up in terms of farm, actually finding a level lead of his own against Keemin at this point of time. Now, Keemin, he's been getting some good engages here with the help of Rasy, as well as Stowm, which gives them a lot of confidence, right? But so far, Lolealz still a level ahead. He has been winning out on these river crabs against ZAID.
So far, we can see Lolealz does have the slight EXP lead, though that is probably because ZAID was pulled over to participate in fights. Zaed now colliding with Rasy once again. Todak wants control over the turtle pit.
I'm gonna dance around it for a little bit, but we've seen this time and time again. Especially on the Broken Walls map, it gets hard. Keemin already getting his Genius Wand. Sizkaa with a War Axe so early on. This is what you want to see, because now, wait, hold on. They've got Stowm on the top side of the map to initially get the push and also get a little bit of extra gold. So this is why they didn't want to put the Angela on Rasy instead. Give it to Stowm.
Rasy does get hooked in, going to get bursted down. Sky Pierce just going over. Hard guard comes out on Keyman. He's chasing Fawndeer, not able to find his Sizkaa with Vengeance. Not going to survive for long. Lolealz pelting him down. They will find ZAIMSEMPOI in exchange. Todak dropping really low. Stowm with the flicker forward on the Angela. Gets the last hit and sets it up for Zaed. Untitled. Playing clean.
Beautiful stuff coming out from Untitled. A great flicker coming in from Stowm. Cross-map play, still participates, still secures the kill. Stowm doing it all.
Those love waves actually hurt a lot more nowadays than you would expect, and we get to see an instant replay of that. Todak thought they were the ones in control.
Oh my god.
Flickers forward, the Angela, right in your face.
Dude, that's actually so funny because Lolealz, if he didn't auto-attack the river crab, he probably would have lived. The literal 0.2 seconds of him hitting a crab caused him to die.
Stowm literally looking at him and saying, "Your greed disgusts me."
Spits in his face. You better watch yourself. Check yourself, boy. 3.9 to 3.2. What a huge swing of gold. From 900 down to 3.1k in favor of Untitled, and this gold lead is not going to go unchecked. First items have already come through. The only person keeping up to the task right now is currently Lolealz. Zaed hasn't even finished a full item, just components.
He is nearly 1,000 gold behind Keyman, and he stole his first buff, by the way. That's how this game started. And we're only 6 minutes in. It hasn't been that long.
It really hasn't. And came in very greedy with the Genius Wand, but necessary considering the status of the game. With Fawndeer already on the push on the top side of the map, let's see where Untitled wants to attack next, because it feels like they just want to maintain pressure on this bot side, contest every wave, make sure that Lolealz wastes time walking back and forth.
So far, Todak still not really finding the angles they need to attack from. I'm still having some doubts about teams picking up this Franco. It's so dependent on whether you're able to actually start the fight the way you want. Now they want ZAIMSEMPOI to flicker forward from Rasy. My goodness, look at that burst. But they did find the iron hook on Keyman in the mid lane. Lolealz gets that kill.
Alright, so good trade either way, right? Actually a better trade technically for Todak's side.
Another hook onto Rasy. He gets 2-man stun. Todak do not want to fight that.
Hey, they popped the light wheel though. They got that out of the carry, so that's at least one cooldown they don't have to worry about for the time being. This is very doable for Untitled.
Another hard guard on Sizkaa. Turtle dropping low. Wow. Stowm gets the last hit. Zaed a bit too late to the party. Flicker forward from Fawndeer. Doing some good damage, but it's not quite enough. It's 3v3. It's technically 2v2. Okay, there's a lot of riding happening on Untitled right now. They're still going for it. The flicker forward from Stowm just to get into a better angle to escape. And Untitled will disengage.
Alright, thank God that iron hook was at least in the right direction. Wow, that was the most nothing fight I've ever seen. Zaed unkillable. Sizkaa with an Angela heart guard unkillable. They just sat there eating shots.
I think it's funny that Rasy saw Stowm riding Sizkaa and is like, I want to do that too.
Me too, me too. Let me get in on this, big bro.
Oh, Keyman in some trouble. Gets the heart guard out. Dreams already used the Winter Crown. Here comes Rasy. Do they want to die for this?
Do the
Looks
thing.
like they will. Conceal gonna be used for Rasy. They'll just go for the tower instead.
No, they're going to back away for the time being. And ZAIMSEMPOI has really been struggling to get in on these fights. Every single time he's been remotely charged up. He has been jumped on pretty often by Sizkaa. And let me tell you, that Vengeance really punches back since he doesn't have the Blade Armor just yet.
Here comes the hard guard once again on Keyman, looking for the backdoor entry. Zaed and Fawndeer are going to be the first targets. They are able to walk away. They're pretty bulky. No casualties here.
Doesn't find much. Man, we need to see Todak initiate with ZAIMSEMPOI alongside Dreams to start the pickoffs. Because right now, it's just tempo is not in their control right now. And Untitled are running away with basically everything that they have, right? 4.3k in the bag. And not to mention that Rasy has been quite the nuisance here overall. He's been taking a lot of damage, and eventually that's going to stop. And I would imagine that Dom Ices are already on the way, if not complete by this point for Todak.
Todak situating quite a lot of players in the bot lane. Lord is coming up in 5 seconds on top half though, so not too sure if they're going to be able to get much from that.
Gotta take their time here. Lord spawn 9 minutes into the game. Untitled, really, there's nothing for them to really rush, right? They can wait for Zaed to get 3 items before actually starting this off, but is Fawndeer gonna respond to that, please? I'm offended? No? I'm... Brother man? Brother man? Okay.
Take your time.
Just take your time with it.
ZAIMSEMPOI got jumped on by Rasy, but Untitled not looking for a fight just yet. They do scout out that Zaed is in the area. Lord has officially spawned. Untitled in control of it for now.
Okay, after setting up a slow push on that top side, Todak now looking to take the space back, right? And you can tell that Untitled a lot more respectful to Todak this time round. They don't want to throw their lead just yet. They know that usually when it comes to these lords, that's when things get very, very scary, very dangerous. They're going to go for a full reset here while mid lane gets pushed out.
I wonder if this is going to become a common thing, or if it's specifically hold on, I'm offended, Flicker going to be used, but comes the vengeance and the hard guard. Sizkaa just does not care at all. Lord has already been taken. Zaid going to be pulled back with the glue. Todak trying to keep him alive. They will succeed in doing so. Iron Hook finds the glue. Rasy going to be pulled back into the tower. Untitled want to see if they can save him. A mortality popped, but there is no way for Rasy to escape this time.
Rasy sacrifices his life, but they still get the Lord. Unfortunately, these Iron Hug's dream has finally expunged Rasy out of his head. ZAIMSEMPOI now getting a little bit more pressure, is able to do some significant damage. The only problem is that iKayn has been scaling this entire time. If Lolealz or even ZAIMSEMPOI find themselves in a 1v1 against iKayn, a high likelihood that they will lose a battle spell or just die.
Oh, they actually collide with iKayn though. They locked him down right outside the tower. Hardguard too slow. They found the joy.
Beautifully played. Great chain CC as well. That's what you want to see, especially in a lineup like this, because iKayn could have easily got out of the way with the either triggering the electrifying beats to get the extra movement speed, or just naturally dashing away, which he was trying to set up for. Looking back at the items, Radiant Armor finally completed for Zaed's side. We do see a Sky Piercer come out from ZAIMSEMPOI. I guess somebody's got to finish off these kills.
I have actually been seeing some of those Sky Piercer procs from the side of Todak, so if ZAIMSEMPOI is able to continue keeping himself safe, he can genuinely become quite the scary DPS a little later on. So far, Untitled still holding on to the 4K net worth lead. 3 items completed on most of the players.
Wow. This is interesting. So, based off of the items and based on the item build list, it looks like ZAIMSEMPOI eventually got the glowing wand. But Dreams going for a hyper greedy Franco build.
Here comes the conceal. They find the Franco. Rasy gonna be the one to initiate. Look at the damage coming out from Irritel. Hardguard gonna be used on Zaed as well. They're chasing Todak. Fawndeer gonna be next target. Has to use the flicker. You can already see the damage from the heavy crossbow building up.
Stacking up fast. Zaed as well as iKayn. Currently highest DPS in the game as iKayn hits level 15 and gets a Wishing Lantern as well. He's so far ahead at this point. Zaed 3 levels down, manages to get his purple buff, but Rasy, just look at the amount of coverage that he's getting, right?
Oh. I'm offended onto Sizkaa. Vengeance comes out. Hardguard gonna be used as well. He's able to just walk away under the tower against 4 people.
Nothing to worry about. Since Stowm has been building to make sure that he can keep his team alive, I want to see more cross-map plays, but it needs to be set up by the side laners, if not Stowm himself. Sizkaa generally wins out a majority of his 1v1s. I think with Fawndeer building into not Bloodlust Axe, that's the old one. War Axe into Brute Force Breastplate, he's never going to die as long as there's a wave, right? It's a net negative from both sides if they fight.
He's never gonna die as long as he sticks to Rasy, basically. Yeah! That would be the ideal, actually, if Fawndeer is able to bait the Rasy ult onto him instead of any of the squishier backliners.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Now we see, once again, it's the same 4-in-1 setup, right? The cross-map play in Stowm to get the lane pushing on the opposite side, and Todak must make a decision. Do we respond to the top side and give up that Lord, or do we take the space now and then send somebody up to that top side to maybe make Untitled feel pressure?
Untitled still playing calm and collected right now. They've got Stowm pushing top lane. They've got Zaed near the bot lane to make sure that doesn't get shoved against them either. Todak has to stick a lot closer together. They gotta protect their backline.
Let's see how long they can protect it for. Because Lolealz, he can basically burst anybody on the side of Untitled now that he's got the Trinity build. Wait, they should actually try it. Well, never mind. It looks like they made the decision a little too late here. They could have just pressured the mid lane and forced iKayn out of position. But instead, they back off. By the time they made the choice, it's too late.
Sizkaa doing a great job controlling the Lord the entire time, and Stowm actually pushing out. Someone is gonna have to eventually respond to that top side, so that means Todak needs to make a decision here.
A nice little slow push for the side of Untitled. Wanting to make sure that it feels good for them, but it's just a lack of information. Because even the mid lane gets shoved out.
Oh! Rasy with the effect, aggressive flicker forward with the bloody hunt, finds Kimin in the mid lane! Gets bursted! Hardguard doesn't come out in time! Rasy gonna be bursted as well by Lolealz. Sizkaa trying to chase down the carry, pops the vengeance, but gets pulled in with the I am offended! And Rasy will be finished on the Iron Hook! Dreams! Finds the target! That's a killing spree going over to Lolealz. Stowm now has to get back to protect Sizkaa.
Now that's the dreams I remembered from MPL Indonesia. He's landing some sick hooks through his teammates and turning that fight around because Zaed could not see the Iron Hook in the middle of that chaos. And now that means that Todak has an opportunity to turn this into a 1-1 in scoreline. They get the Lord. Finally, this is going to bring them back from the brink.
Finally breaking through the momentum that's been holding them back. Untitled definitely underestimated the aggression here. Todak has so far been playing pretty passively, so I don't think they expected them to instantly jump onto the mid lane like that.
And they found out a huge punish. They now currently leading the kill score 7-8 at this point. They were just waiting for the Lord. Looking at the items, even situational items are already coming into play. We need to see a Winds of Nature eventually come out, but for the time being, for Lolealz, he opts to go for the Rose Gold, knowing that he's most likely to face Kimin than he will Zaed.
It's a good call, definitely a good call there. We know that Lolealz is the main carry, the one that is gonna be doing all the burst damage for Todak, and was able to get the space to do so. That's why members of Untitled melted so quickly, even though they'd been so difficult to remove before. Lord now pushing in mid.
Sizkaa, he's got a flank angle ready to go. They're gonna wait for this Lord to come in before Sizkaa is gonna jump.
Lord drops down to 40%. Mid inhibitor will fall. Todak finally breaks through into the base. They're gonna look to translate this into another tower, and they will find it actually. Untitled in a bit of trouble now. They've lost 2 lanes of inhibitors. Oh, the Iron Hook! Oh, that feels bad. Hardguard comes out, vengeance as well. Sizkaa still alive for now, but the Fawndeer doing such a great job of controlling the back line. Zaed trying to do the damage, but he's 1 hit away from death. He's gonna need to back this off. Lolealz finds Kimin. Untitled not able to find the engagement they're looking for, and now ZAIMSEMPOI with a kill of his own. Todak turning the game around. It is a 3v5 base defense. This guy goes forward. I'm offended, pulls 2 in. Hardguard does not matter because Bloody Hunt locks him down. Todak have done it. They have